Do you believe in ghosts? Have you ever seen one? Unfortunately, I have not. And because of that, ever since I was young, I have been fascinated with all things paranormal. I would read, research, and investigate supposedly haunted locations. Today I'm going to talk to you about Harry Price. He is one of the world's most famous and controversial ghost hunters. I'm going to talk to you about his career and his childhood. According to the book Anatomy of a Fraud, Harry Price and the medium Ruby Schneider, Harry Price was born in 1881 to a grocer and a traveling salesman. His fascination with the paranormal began at age 8 when he went to the circus and he saw his first stage magician. After that, he became an amateur conjurer, and he started collecting vast volumes of anything to do with magic or paranormal anomalies. Tony Taylor wrote in his book, Harry Price, one of the world's most famous and controversial ghost hunters, that Harry Price's first investigation was when he was only 15 years old. He and a friend obtained permission to spend the night in an old manor that was rumored to be haunted. While they were there, they heard disembodied voices, disembodied footsteps, and they tried to get pictures of ghosts, but Mr. Price could not handle the camera correctly, so they weren't able to get any. Then he went on and he founded Charleston's Dramatic Society. That was when he was at age 15 as well. He wrote different dramatic plays to do with spiritual things and paranormal activity. He later on got the attention of the press when he first showed an early interest in space telegraphy. What he did was he had a receiver that he set in one spot and a transmitter that he set in another. And he was able to catch a spark on a photo plate. Catching that spark then was able to help him later on debunk spiritual photographers and whether or not they were actually taking pictures of ghosts. In the book, The Search of Harry Price, Price in 1908 met and married a wealthy heiress named Constance Mary Knight. When he married her, that in turn led him to be independently wealthy himself and got to ghost hunt full time. That in turn led to his first success years later when he exposed William Hope, a famous spirit photographer, as fraud. Price claimed that Hope was pre-exposing the plates of film before taking the pictures, and he found this out when he secretly exchanged his own film plates for Hope's film plates, proving Hope a fraud. Price then began to hold seances, and at these seances he would invite different mediums who claimed to be able to talk to the dead. Price was an amateur, well, not an amateur, but he was a amateur inventor. Yes, he was an amateur inventor, and he invented several controversial instruments that were able to record and trace paranormal activity. In these seances, he claimed that he could record whether or not the mediums were actually able to speak with the dead, and in turn proving that several of the mediums were in fact frauds and could not speak to anyone, let alone the dead. He claimed, though, that with his inventions himself, that he could talk to the dead, and that he could, in fact, relay messages to people. This caused researchers of his time to question his validity as a researcher at all. Today, his validity is still in question. Harry Price died in 1948. He was age 67. Today I've discussed Harry Price's childhood and his career. He is still regarded as highly controversial, but it is not without appreciation. Thank you.